Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Let's Read Lone Wolf, Book 6, Kingdoms of Terror. Alright, it's been 2 weeks this time. Actually, I did not get this book read last week. However, you guys have had plenty of time to vote, and here's what you came up with. I am going to be taking the Kaya disciplines of Hunt Mastery and Weapon Mastery, which will complete the Lower Circle of Fire. And I will be taking Curing, which will ensure that I don't die, hopefully. In Grand Weapon Mastery, you guys voted for me to take the bow, the broadsword, and the sword, which is easily enough done. I already have a broadsword and a sword, so no problems there. And the bow, actually, I'm going to be taking a bow because I can only carry 2 weapons. So I will have a bow and a quiver? I think quiver was an equipment. I'm sure it was. Hang on. So Lower Circle of Fire adds +1 to my combat skill, +2 to my endurance. So that's good. Completing that one. Hunt Mastery and Weapon Skill are good things to have. Yes, so there is a quiver with 6 arrows. That is a special item. Does not go in my backpack. It actually goes over here. What the heck? Bow. Broadsword. Bow. I have a bow. I have a bow. Why can't I click the bow? That's kind of weird. Maybe I gotta put it over here? No. 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 What are you doing to me? I don't understand. Why won't you let me select my bow? Select my bow! Ah! I can't keep track of the arrows if you won't let me have a bow. A bow! Alright, that's odd. I don't know why it's doing that. Like, if I had this, it'll let me select it, but it won't let me select the bow. Oh well, not a huge deal. We know we have 6 arrows. We'll keep track of them. I'll probably keep track of it on Stats Keeper. But yeah, so the arrows go here. There's 6 of them. The bow is a carried weapon. We already have our backpack pretty full, as you're all sure. You know, I didn't think about that. We did not run into... in Book 5, I was planning on using this Odie herb because you run into a guy with some sort of disease and you give it to him, but I guess I didn't take that path. So I have some massive curing ability, which will be useful. Add that to my, add 1 health point to every numbered section I'm not in combat, and I will be a hard fellow to take down. And trust me, in the Magna Kai series, you will need it. As you can see, the action chart automatically keeps tabs of everything. Combat skill 18 +8. What's the +8, you might ask? Well, very simple. It's the Lower Circle of Fire adds 1, Weapon Mastery adds 3, the Silver Helm adds 2, the Shield adds 2. So I have a combat skill right now of 26. Endurance is 29 +8. Again, what's the +8? Well, Lower Circle of Fire adds +2, my Padded Leather adds 2, and my Chainmail adds 4. So we are doing well, folks. We have 37 endurance points, 26 combat skill. We have the abilities of Curing, Hunt Mastery, and Weapon Mastery. Bow, a broadsword. We have the ability to take a sword, but we can only carry 2 weapons, so we're not going to. And of course, all our special items. And 50 gold crowns. And I think we're good to go, folks. Let's start this. Let me see if I can keep track of my bow and arrows here. Bow, let's see, Magna Kai. Alright. Bow. Weapon Mastery bow. Fire. You know, I don't need to keep track of all that. Inventory. Records? There we go. We can keep track of our arrows right there. And our crowns right there. Alright. Good. That'll work. Alright, let's start. Shall we? And I know I've said this lots of times, but I love the Magna Kai series. I think it's my favorite simply because of the overreaching story that it's just one massive quest. And let's start this quest, shall we? Alright, Magnakai Wisdom. Your quest for the Lore Stone of Veretta will be fraught with danger, for the lands that border upon the River Storn are wild and turbulent nations, constantly warring with one another. Use the map to help you during your adventure. To help you during your adventure, and make notes as you progress through the story. They will be a great help to you. Alright, you're all aware of this. May the spirit of Sun Eagle guide you on the path of the Magnakai. Good luck. Okay. The courtyard of the Kai Monastery is strangely silent the morning you begin the quest. A blanket of frost sparkles on the battlements, and the air is crisp and clear as you guide your horse down the steep hill track that disappears into the Freylund forest. It is only a little later when you look back to see the tall gray towers of your stronghold silhouetted against the sky. You bid a silent farewell before entering the densely packed trees. You do not look back again. And trust me, folks, we will not be back for a very long time. The long ride south is not without incident. On the Raiders' Road, the highway between the capital and the province of Ruanon, you are confronted by a ragged outlaw band. They demand gold, but instead receive a harsh lesson in the powers of the Kai Master. You fight them, and they flee in confusion, leaving 3 of their number dead on the highway. Well, good for them. After this encounter, you are given a wide berth by all other unsavory characters of this bleak and desolate region. In Ruanon, you are greeted as a hero with a hero's welcome by the lord of the land, Baron Vanalund. He and his people will never forget the debt they owe you, for it was your courage that once saved them from the destruction at the hands of the evil renegade warlord. You are made so welcome by the Ruanese that your quest is in danger of being forgotten in the endless round of banquets and celebrations held in your honor. However, you cannot neglect your duty, and the time soon comes for you to leave the mining town and venture south once more. Long ago, the highway from Ruanon to Quarrelin was torn into 2 by a terrible earthquake that scarred the land for hundreds of miles. This deep crevice became known as the Macken Gorge, the Chasm of Doom. From its fathomless depths, the cursed are cursed with a dreadful legacy. It was here, during the age of the Black Moon, that King Unlar killed the mightiest of the Dark Lords, Lord Vashna, whose body, along with the bodies of all of his followers, were cast down into the bottomless reach. The legends say that his death cry will echo through the gorge until he rises again to wreak his vengeance on Summerlund and the House of Unlar. You are eager to avoid the Chasm of Doom, and the long detour to the free city-state of Carson is a far better prospect than a visit to the ghost city of Macken. Gradually, the fertile plain of southern Ruanon gives way to the sparse vegetation on the borders of the dry main. There, like a jewel rising out of the desert, lies the city-state of Kasserorn. You stay in the city of merchants in a brief but profitable. Your stay in the city of merchants is a brief but profitable one. A piece of luck, helped by your Kai skills, gives a profitable win at the gambling house. Oh, Lone Wolf, you sly dog, you! Of the Silver Sage. With the gold you win, you replenish your supplies and purchase a fresh mount for your ride to Kuralin. And then we have a picture of something. I guess the Kai Monastery. It's silhouetted against the sun. A week later, you arrive safely at the outskirts of Kuralin, and in the evening twilight, you find yourself gazing upon the fortified walls that surround the river town. Actually, I think this is Kuralin we're looking at. To reach Veretta, you must cross the river, and only here at Kuralin is there a bridge that spans the fast-flowing waters of the Quarrel. The highway divides it as it approaches the town wall, for there are 2 gates that provide access to the its east side. If you have the Magnakai discipline of pathmanship, no, no, I don't. Oh, do I wish to approach the north or the south? Let's go north. North gate, south gate. Sorry, I had to stop for a second. Let's take the south gate because I don't know. Because. I don't know. I mean, why not? Just south sounds better. South starts with an S, meaning squee. Therefore, we shall take it. It's the squee way. I don't know. Alright, you rein your horse beneath the wide stone archway of the south gate. From an arrow slit in the wall echoes a harsh voice. Rider, show your pass! There is a dull clunk of bolt being drawn, and 2 swarthy guards dressed in chainmail appear. They eye you suspiciously and repeat the demand to see the pass. I don't have a pass? I wish to tell them I do not have a pass. Yeah, let's go to 5. Bah! Exclaims the guard contemptuously. We have no time for witless wanderers. Go back to Carson if you have no business here. He spits at the ground and the guards turn towards their own gate. Hey! I need to get in here. You wish to ride past them. You wish to offer them gold. Let's offer gold. Why not? Let's see if we can bribe them. The guards exchange glances and they nod their heads in agreement. 10 gold crowns will make you a welcome guest in our town, stranger. 10? That is highway robbery. Whispers the shorter of the 2 men, holding out his hands in expectation. What? I am not paying you 10 gold crowns, mister. I mean, so what do? I'm not paying 10 gold crowns to these guys, these jokers. Go to North Gate, right past them. You know what, screw it, I'm going in there. Why not? Let's do some excitement, huh? Let's just ride past them, because this is a smart thing to do. You strike the flank of your horse and break through the startled guards in a matter of seconds, but as you gallop through the gate, 2 more appear to block your path. They are armed with long pikes, which they slope at your chest. Tightly, you rein your horse to avoid the threatening steel tips. Yeah, you know, I probably should have just gone to the North Gate. Oh well, too late now. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the Magna Chi discipline of animal control, I don't. I don't have anything. Alright, random number table time. And it's a 0. And I'm dead. Damn you, action chart. You hate me, don't you? You really hate me. You feel a numbing shock as the damp warmth of blood begins to soak your tunic. You fight for breath, but your strength is sapped by the terrible wounds made by the pike heads. You swoon and fall to the ground at the loss of blood and consciousness of the sword blade that is poised to end your life. Shall we try that again? Random number table? Maybe? Oh, you got 0 again? You really want me to die? I hate you, random number table. I hate you! Again! 7. Oh. I swear this thing is playing with me. Alright, so 7. The gleaming pike heads are barely inches from your chest when you unsheath your weapon and smash them aside. Your blow shatters their shafts, and the guards reel back, wide-eyed and slack-jawed with shock. Seizing your advantage, you spur your horse once more and gallop towards the welcoming shadows of the street ahead. As outraged cries of the gatehouse guard fade away, you find yourself at the fork in the road. Shadows are lengthening as the night draws its cloak around the border town, and you are anxious to find safe lodging for yourself and your horse. If you possess the Magna Chi discipline of divination, no. Left fork or right fork? I would say random number table time, but we just saw how it likes to screw me over, so I'm just going left. You random number table, I'm watching you. You're a hellgast, aren't you? Come on. You're a hellgast. I know it. Alright. The narrow street begins its steep descent towards the waves and huge warehouses that line the river crawl. The sun is now below the horizon, and lanterns are being lit in twisting alleys and passages of the dingy town. From open alehouse doors, the red glare of roaring fires colors the oily black cobblestones. You have been riding for barely a minute when the street ahead is blocked by a procession of men advancing up the hill towards you. They are dressed in red cloaks with black hoods and carry large scarlet candles which flicker in the chill evening breeze. And of course there's a picture of these guys, and he's pointing at you, kind of like Uncle Sam, saying, "We want you!" And he's got a hood with a skull and crossbones on it, which is probably not a good thing. The leader is a tall man with hard gray eyes. He fixes you with a stare and slowly raises his hand. The procession halts. "Are you a believer or an unbeliever?" he cries, his voice as piercing as his stare. If you've ever been to the buried temple of Macken, I have been. Alright. Suddenly you notice the skeletal badges that adorn their cloaks of these men, and a chilling memory floods your mind. They are dressed identically to the evil priest who accompanied the renegade warlord Baraka at the buried temple of Macken. They are acolytes of Vashna. After the defeat of Baraka, they fled south to escape the Summerlending army. It was a common belief in the Last Lands that the Brotherhood had been destroyed and their power extinguished forever. But this encounter proves otherwise. You sense that you are in deadly danger. Should they discover your true identity, they will do their utmost to destroy you. Their leader repeats his demand, his voice sharp with impatience. You know what? I want them to know who I am. I am gonna kick their butts. Because I'm a Kai Lord, and that's what I do. And I'll make sure that they're disbanded forever with my back of my hand. The street becomes, so I'm saying unbeliever, by the way. The street becomes as silent as death as all eyes focus accusingly on you. The leader's face becomes twisted with hatred. He points a crooked finger at your forehead and utters a dreadful curse. Uh-oh. If you have the Magna Kai discipline of side screen, I do not. I do not have that discipline. Oh no. A blistering pain erupts from your head as the leader's curse reaches your ears. You are being attacked by a powerful mind force that robs you of 4 endurance points. Well, crap. Hang on, I gotta set this stuff up. Alright, so I'm down to 33. The procession is obviously delighted by your suffering. Your cries seem to be music to their ears. They press forward, unsheathing their hidden daggers from their robes as they try to encircle you. Mustering your reserves of strength, you turn your horse around and gallop. No, I do not! No. I'll take that extra damage, but I am not turning away. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, crap, what the hell? Ah! Alright, I'm gonna take the extra damage, but there's no way in hell I'm running from these guys. I'll take the 4. You know what? I'll even take an extra 2 endurance. So let's say I lose 6, so I'm at 31. Just because, you know, the continued Mind Blast or something, but I am not letting these guys run me off. No way in hell. So, I'm going to engage in combat as they encircled me. Alright? The howling mob scream like men possessed as they hack and slash at your unarmored legs. If you have the Magna Kai discipline of animal control, I don't. You may add 2 to the combat skill for the duration of this fight, for it enables you to command your horse to attack with its hooves. Oh, that'd be cool, but I can't do that. So, they have a combat skill of 22 and endurance of 48. Let's get it on. This is a tough fight, but I don't care. I am going to rid the world of these evil people. And if you guys don't like me taking some liberties like this, I don't see you having a huge problem with it, but let me know. I think it should be this way, because I would not run away. I want to murder these guys. I want to murder them. They have a combat skill of 22. They have an endurance of 48. You know, perhaps I should pull out the Summer Sword. This is going to be a tough fight. Nah, let's just do it with the broadsword. Let's do this, alright? And it doesn't say they're immune to Mind Blast, so I can use Mind Blast. Bam! Look at that, I'm at 28 now. Ho ho ho! So, suck it. Alright, battle. Let's get it on. I'm at a combat skill of 28 with 31 endurance. They're at a combat skill of 22 with 48 endurance. Let's do this. I'm down to 28, they're down to 40. I'm down to 25, they're down to 32. I'm down to 23, they're down to 22. I'm down to 20, they're down to 14. And they're dead. So, wow, I'm down to 20 endurance points. I'm not doing so well, folks. Not doing so well. It's alright, though. I rid the world of their evil presence. End and save statistics. Alright. I won combat. The survivors flee into the dark, leaving their leader and over half their number laying dead at your feet. Leaning down from the saddle, you snatch the pouch that hangs from the dead leader's belt. It contains 12 gold crowns and a ruby ring. Not that I can really need the gold crowns, and as always, anytime you pick up some sort of jewelry in this game, it means bad news. I think. So I'm not going to take it. If you wish to take the ring, mark it on your action chart. No, I do not. You hear the crunch of boots on the stone as a group of soldiers tramp up the street from the river, moving disdainfully through the crowds of people that have gathered to watch. Sheathing your blood-smeared weapon, you rein your horse about and take off along the darkening street. So, I did damage to at least half of them. Alright. Galloping along the dark and narrow thoroughfare, Through broken streets and dark alleyways, you soon outdistance any immediate threat to your safety. You halt at a small square to allow your horse to drink from a water trough that stands beside a narrow stone arch. As she drinks her fill, you observe the toing and froing of the townsfolk and hear the drunken songs and revelry from the wine shops bordering the square. A knot of brawling rivermen tumbles out of one doorway, and they set about each other with knives and bottles, egged on by their rowdy comrades who wager fistfuls of crowns on the outcome. The fight soon gets out of hand and it spreads, and as it spreads, you decide it is better to leave before you're drawn into it. Yeah, especially since I'm half dead. You enter a wide street where black iron lanterns swing above the doors of shops and houses, their oily black smoke staining the walls and adding a pall of gloom to the darkening sky. The street descends towards the River Qual, where float boats lie moored at the rich merchants' wharfs. Quallen stands at the most northerly point on the river that can be navigated by boat and barge, and it is here that the river meets caravan routes to Carasorn and the Last Lands, so ensuring the future of the town. At the approach of the wide stone bridge, you see an impressive-looking hostelry with stables and outhouses. A painted shield hangs above the courtyard gate, proudly displaying its name, the Barrel Bridge Tavern. The moment you enter the courtyard, a stable boy appears from nowhere and bids you welcome. He takes charge of your horse and shows you the door to the tavern hall. It is crowded, despite the early hour, and a roaring fire blazes in its great stone hearth. The smell of roasting beef makes your mouth water, reminding you that you have not eaten today. If you don't have any gold crowns, if you have the discipline of pathmanship or divination, I don't have those. Do you wish to take a seat and order some food? I do! I'm gonna order some food, because I'm hungry. You choose a seat near the corner, one that is laid for dinner, and offers a clear view of the hall. A serving girl soon appears, carrying a platter laden with roasted meat. She proceeds to stack a generous portion onto your plate. 2 gold crowns, if you please, sir, she says, presenting an open hand bloodied by the food. Oh, fine. I don't mind paying for food. Alright. You pay and settle down to your feast. While eating, you are approached by the innkeeper. He's a fat, oily individual with small, piggish eyes. You know, if I remember correctly, for some strange reason, most of the innkeepers in Lone Wolf tend to be chubby. I don't know if they had something against chubby innkeepers or whatnot. There's a couple here and there that are skinny, like the one in Book 2, but for the most part, yeah. Oh well. Me lad tells me you tended to your mare. She's in good hands here. Best stables in all of Quarrelin. The man shifts nervously from one foot to the other, as if he's uncomfortable in your presence. You'll be wanting a room, I take it. You finish a mouthful of food before nodding your reply. You're in luck, me friend, he answers, obviously relieved that you have turned out to be a paying guest. We have 1 room available, room 17. He produces a plain iron key from his apron pocket and sets it down beside your plate. That'll be 3 gold crowns, sir, in advance. Did I just turn the innkeeper Texan? I need them 3 gold crowns, give me some beer. Yeehaw, I got a football game tonight. Ooh. You pay the innkeeper and slip the key into your pocket. 3 more gold crowns, huh? Alrighty. This place is gonna kill me, I know, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Alright. Suddenly there is a mighty crash as the hall door is slammed shut. Into the tavern strides a black-browed young lordling wearing a flamboyant costume of ebony and gold. He makes the ceremonious display of removing his velvet cloak and pompously demands food and wine. And it takes 3 serving girls and the innkeeper to see to his wishes. His manner is so insulting that you are not surprised to see many scars that disfigure his young face. He must be continually provoking fights and duels. The lordling chooses to seat himself at a table already occupied by a small, thin, inoffensive old man. Within seconds, there is a thunderous outburst of foul language. The lordling grabs the old man by the throat, lifts him one-handedly from his seat, and hurls him to the floor. "You sniveling toad! How dare you sit with me?" he bellows. Bewildered and frightened, the little man fumbles an apology, but to no avail. The lordling kicks back his chair and towers over the wretch, his hand clasped around the hilt of his sword. The tavern crowd view the scene with relish, like spectators at a Vasagonian arena, for the lordling clearly intends to kill the old man. Okay then. I've regained 5 hit points, so I'm going to go ahead and tag that in there before I forget about it. And I possess a bow. I do possess a bow. Let's whip this baby out, huh? Let's see how this bow works. With the speed and grace of movement that marks you as a Kai master, you load, take aim, and fire. Your arrow pierces the lordly's forearm as his sword descends, causing the blow to splinter stone, not skull. Oh, okay. Causing the blow to splinter stone, not skull. He utters a shrill cry and spins backward, cradling his wounded arm as he falls. Curse you, scum, he shrieks. I am Rark, highborn of Armory. I shall have your life for this. Mark my words. Trembling in pain and fury, he staggers to his feet and demands his sword and cloak from the innkeeper before stumbling into the night with a welter of threats and curses. Alright, so we lose an arrow. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's just automatically done. Other times you got to pick a number on the action chart. But that's pretty much how bows work. And like I said, they are very useful in this game. Like I said, I didn't have to fight this time, and thus lose more health that I can't afford to lose. So bows are very, very helpful. My humble thanks, says the frail old man as you help him to his feet. I am forever in your debt. Taking him by the arm, you escort him to the table where he gathers up his scattered belongings. My name is Cyrillus. I am a magician, he says meekly, as if apologizing for some weakness or abnormality. I'm supposed to be doing voices, aren't I? I claim no great understanding of the arcane. My talents are modest by any standard. I only dabble in simple tricks, earning my keep with amusements and sleight of hand to amuse the courtiers of Veretta. Your eyes obviously betray you. The old man is quick to note your sudden interest in the word Veretta. If you wish to ask him about the lower storm of Veretta, turn to page 83. Sure, why not? Let's just give away our quest to everyone. Lone Wolf seems to be very good at doing this. The old man narrows his mousy eyes and looks at you with a cautious stare. It is but a legend. Some say it contained great power. Others say its power existed only in the minds of those who craved to own it. Whatever the truth is, the Lower Stone has been lost for hundreds of years. You sense that the old magician is not telling you all he knows about the Lower Stone. If you wish to identify yourself and tell him the nature of your quest, of course we do, because we don't know the word caution. Oh, man. Cyrillus' eyes open in such surprise that you can see the startled whites around his mousy brown pupils. Lone Wolf, he whispers incredulously. I should have known. Humble apologies, my lord. I thought you sought the Lower Stone for less than honorable reasons. You know, I could still be doing that. Just because I'm a Kai Lord doesn't mean well, whatever. Cyrillus talks at great length about the legend of the Lower Stone. You learn that it remained in Veretta after Sun Eagle's quest, where it was set into the throne of Lyris in the Tower of the King. Hundreds of years ago, during the War of the Lower Stone, it was stolen by a Ceylonese prince called Kaskor. He set the stone upon a gold scepter and used it in the battle to inspire his fanatical followers and crush his foes. He believed it made him invulnerable, but this was not so. He was killed on his royal barge during the Battle of Rem, and the Lower Stone was lost when the gold scepter fell from his hand into the depths of the river Storn. There were many accounts of the scepter having been found, but they had always proved to be untrue or simply fanciful. It was said that whoever wielded the Lower Stone was the rightful ruler of the Storn lands. For this reason alone, it was often sought by evil, unscrupulous warlords, and many had pursued this quest, all without success. Cyrillus does not know where the Lower Stone is, but he does know a man in Veretta who claims to know its exact whereabouts. Let me ride with you to Veretta. In return for the privilege, I shall take you to this man. Your basic Kai instincts tell you that his offer is genuine. You nod your agreement and agree to meet him in the tavern courtyard at dawn. A shrill cockcrow heralds the break of day. By the time you have dressed and gathered together your equipment, Cyrillus is waiting for you in the courtyard below. A glorious day, he says cheerfully, pointing up at the cloudless sky with a slender oaken staff. We'll have no difficulty reaching the highway inn by nightfall. Halfway in by nightfall. Okay, that's a weird picture. Let's get down to it before I start. I wonder what that picture is.